Alright, it just took delivery of one of these new Akaso Keychain little micro cameras, 4K camera. I thought I'd go over it for use as a camera on an FPV drone. My interest is in Cinewhooping, so I'm only really going to be showing what I've looked into and tested as far as using it on a Cinewhoop. So I'm going to go over some of the basic things here. It comes with a lot of parts. We're probably really, if you want to learn about these things, you can find out on another video. It does come with a USB-C cable. It's important to know on this cable, it's 5.8 millimeters thick, which is thinner than it is on most other cables. So you're probably going to have to use this cable if you're going to connect up to it. Alright, so let's go over some of the basic specs on this thing. Now normally we would be flying with one of these Insta360 Go cameras. Now let's just talk about that for a little second. The Insta360 Go is $179. It only weighs 20 grams. It only has 8 gigabytes of memory built in. You can't change it out. It has a 5-minute FPV mode, but you have to let it cool down between those flights or else you won't get 5 minutes on the next flight. Since it's got limited storage, you're not going to get many total minutes recording on it. It's only a 1080p camera, but it does have a 180-degree field of view. It does have a very good, what they call horizontal or horizon lock, so you can sit here, you can fly acro, and the horizon will stay steady in it, regardless of the way the camera is oriented. Its data rate is about 32 megabits per second, which is kind of on the low end for an action camera. Let's get on now to the Keychain. These are $99 currently. I got this one off of Amazon. It weighs 36 grams instead of the 20 for the Insta-Go. It's got the option, or if you want to store things, you got to put in an SD card. It takes up to 64 gigabytes storage there. There's also, you got your USB cable connected there. That's for charging the battery. And the little hole there is for a reset button inside of there. It will store on that 64 gigabyte card. If you put one of those, you can get about 2.5 hours of storage. The battery is good for about an hour. I've actually tested that, and that does work on that 4K setting. As long as you don't have the Wi-Fi turned on, it'll get you more than an hour on that battery, which is excellent. Instead of the 180-degree field of view that you get on the Insta-Go, this is only 124, so it's a little bit tighter. The way you control it, do with the setups, is you use it has built-in Wi-Fi hotspot, so you connect it up through your phone, change the settings, and good from there. Once you have it set, you pretty much don't have to use your phone at that point. You can just turn it on and off, and it'll record using the settings that you last used. So that's pretty much what I did with this 360 Go. Set it up for 5-minute record. Anytime I got it started, I always try to do that 5 minutes. This does have a good electronic image stabilization built in. It's similar to the stabilization they have on their other action cameras. This is the Akaso V50X, which I've been flying. Pretty impressed with the stability on that. This is even heavier. It's 72 grams, but it's got a full display, and you can look at some of my other videos on using this on a quad. One nice thing about this Keychain one is through the app control through your phone, it'll tell you what the current battery level is, and it'll also tell you how much storage you got left. You don't have that feature on the Bluetooth that comes with the Insta360 Go. So those are two major positives on this. It took about, I drew it all the way down. It took about 90 minutes to charge up using a USB-C charger. And as far as downloading files, you can download it directly off the USB-C connector. When I did that, it took the download rate was about 18 megabytes per second. So if you have a 3-minute video, it'll take about 1 minute to download directly with the cable. If you want to download it off the Wi-Fi on this, It's a lot slower. It's basically if you have a 3-minute video that you want to download, it'll take 5 to 5.5 minutes to download using the Wi-Fi through your phone. Otherwise, I think that covers the basics of the device itself. I'm working on a TPU mount, try to get the shape correct. Right now I'm just using the 1/4 turn mount that it comes with, which is pretty nice, but it's a little heavier than I would like to use on a permanent basis. But well, you know, you can experiment with whatever you want to use. With that, let's go into the app a little bit. Now when you charge the keychain up, there'll be there's 2 LEDs here, and there's 2 switches. The red LED on the top will light up when you're charging, and that'll go off when it's fully charged. To turn the unit on, you just hold this down. It'll vibrate, and then you'll get those oscillating lights there. If you go into your Akaso Go application, hit connect, enter the password, hit that 1 button there, it'll put it into sync mode with the yellow light on there. You'll see it come up on my display. There it is. And hit connect. Okay, we're now connected. If I go back, it'll come up and it'll actually show you the footage currently. To go into the settings, you hit that little gear up on the top here. So here, this type of things, you can change the resolution, you can change the wind direction or wind reduction, turn the stabilization on and off. There's a fill light that goes around the camera itself. You can use that for, you know, more blogging needs. There's a setting for auto rotate, which is supposed to switch it from portrait to landscape mode. I had it on auto here, but it's basically stayed at the same orientation when I was using it. The auto shutdown, you can change that. So if you're not recording and it's just sitting there, I have it for 5 minutes, it'll shut off all by itself. You can change the white balance, you can change the date stamp on or off, I have it off. You can format your SD card. You know, here's where it tells you the amount of battery and megabytes that you got left on your card, and it tells you what the version is. Now this version I have is version 1.0, so it's 2020, and maybe it's September 11th, depending on how you want to read that. But that's pretty much the only settings you got to change. From that, let's go take it out for a flight. One last thing, once you have the blue light on there, that says it's powered up and it's ready to record. You just have to hit that lower button once. You'll get a little vibrate, and then it'll start to flash, and as long as that's doing that, it's recording. You want to just shut it off, you just hit it, and it goes back to steady, and that means to stop recording.